I had my house for 20 years, my job for 13 years. I was a good citizen, did all the right things, paid all, taxes, all that. But I was dying. I was laying in bed when I wasn't at work with my body, mind, spirit complex slowly dying.
Welcome to episode number 41 of the 100 Successful Women, a Conversation to Inspire series. Again, last week I celebrated milestone number 8 for this 100 Successful Women series. I would like to send my gratitude to each and every one of you who are with me in this journey, especially for the past 40 women who have been in the journey with me, sharing with us their wisdom and their journey. Thank you so much to each and every one of you. So in today's episode number 41, we have someone from Cancun, Mexico, Sarah Riddle, joining us in our episode 41. I am super grateful for Sarah for saying yes to being part of this 100 Successful Women journey with me. She is a cancer survivor. What most amazed me is that during her recovery in her cancer journey, she actually drove more than 5,500 miles from where she were to Cancun all by herself and her 4 cats. That was amazing. And I was like unbelievable, I would say, her journey. She has shown us what's possible. What are the limits that we have is only in our own head. Now, Sarah is also a life coach, showing other women out there they are possible as well, and they can too achieve what they want in their life. So thank you so much once again, Sarah, for sharing with us your stories and journey. And I can't wait for your stories to be heard by other people out there. So without further ado, let's dive into Sarah's journey in our conversation coming up next.
A new place, a new home for a while. Let me feel alive. I found my way. I found my way. I was in the dark against it all, but made it through the day. Cause I found my way. I found my way. In bad times, I know I'll be okay. Cause I found my way.
Hi, Sarah. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Vivienne. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for saying yes to be part of this 100 Successful Women conversation. I'm so grateful to have you here. Yeah.
I'm honored.
I was amazed by your stories, which I am going to ask you more about and get you to share with the listeners and all the women out there. So whereabout are you in the world, Sarah?
Currently, I am in Cancun, Mexico.
That's amazing. It's just like a paradise. I had a look at the pictures on the Google. It was so beautiful and it's so attractive as well. You are so blessed to be there.
Lucky, blessed, fortunate, all of it.
Mm.
Yeah. I'm so fortunate that I listened to my inner voice that was screaming at me at work one day. After me ignoring it for a year, it said, "Only you can save your life."
Yeah, we're going to talk about more of that, about saving your life. But one question that I always start with to all the guests is that, Sarah, I know that you have different roles in your life and you are the mom of 4 cats as well.
Yeah.
So who is really Sarah Riddle at your core?
Do you know 4 cats it's called the Crazy Cat Lady Starter Package. I had a dear cat for 16 years and I lost him. And so I thought, well, I'll get 2. And then those 2 siblings from the rescue had a sister. And she was just extremely shy. And the lady said nobody will let them touch her, but she does you. So of course I had to take that one. And then within about 6 weeks, a neighborhood cat adopted me. So now I have 4. And when I grow up, I would love to have a pet sanctuary, where I could take care of more animals because, I see those videos like on the dodo and all that. And my ultimate goal beyond my homestead is to be able to be a philanthropist so that I can give money to organizations that are well run. An example would be there's this little baby rhino named Arthur, but he's probably not a baby anymore. But when I discovered him, he was a baby rhino where his mom had been killed for the horn, and he had been injured in the attack. And they had rescued him. It's called, I think, We Care Animal Sanctuary, and it's in Africa. And it really got me thinking, like, so many of us are, when I have time, when I have money, this XYZ, and, I want to save the world, right? And everybody in it and everything on it. And I know that I can't do that by myself, but what I can do is invest in people that already have the infrastructure up that are helping the environment, people, animals, like the rhino sanctuary. There's this horse sanctuary in Southern Oregon. And I do have to admit to you, since chemo, sometimes names don't come to me. But it's a wild Mustang rescue sanctuary, and they just freely give. And, people donate, but for somebody to find that passion within themselves to help something that can't defend itself, because they're rounded up around BLM just for the property to give to corporations or people that can buy large tracts of land and stuff. And, man has really conquered this planet. A little belief system that I have is that the original language of dominion over the earth is not what it means, not what we've been told it means, like dominate. The original language, dominion meant caretake. So it's our responsibility to be caretaking this earth. And so that's who I am ultimately. But I'm also a future homesteader, off grid, living in Costa Rica, hopefully, we'll see what future plans are, but I'll be moving from here soon. But along with that, so many things have changed in the last 6 months. So this is my first opportunity of really talking about it. So forgive me. I hope I'm not all over the place, but I'm an empowerment coach to where I get to help women transform their lives and live the best life that they want to live through shifting thinking or I have many modalities, but the point is that I went from practically bedridden 3 years ago to living my best life in Cancun, Mexico now. Drove my motor home all the way from Oregon down through Mexico to Cancun.
That's my second question to you, which is how did you end up in Cancun? So thank you so much for your to share with us who is Sarah Riddle at your core. So I can probably summarize that in a few words, which is Sarah is someone with a big heart and someone who want to change for the better, not only for yourself, but for the world as well.
Yeah.
Love that.
I have a natural proclivity of I want to help people.
That's beautiful.
And this is going to be embarrassing, but it's who I am. Like, I save worms. Like, if it's rained and they haven't quite made it across the concrete, I'll pick them up and put them in the dirt.
That's not embarrassing at all. Wow, you are really, you have a soft heart, and that's such a beautiful things to be. Thank you so much for that. It's the world's going to be so much better with a lot of people like you. And thank you so much for what you're doing, Sarah. So go back to you mentioning about Cancun earlier. So how did you end up in Cancun for now?
Well, I'll try to make this brief. I had a lot of life happen to me in a short period of time, even though it seems like a long time. In 1 year, I got divorced. I quit drinking. I was diagnosed with breast cancer, had chemo, mastectomy, reconstruction, developed an autoimmune, held my mom as she crossed over after being her caregiver for 15 years. And it left me in a state of despondency because so much had happened. I didn't know how to process it. I didn't have the tools to figure out, but I would go to work every day. I worked all the way through chemo. I took 1 day off at the end, 2, a Friday and a Monday connected to a weekend. And through the next about 8 years, my body kept declining. I would have a symptom, I would get on a medication. I kept gaining weight. I got on more medication. So at the end of 10 years, I could barely walk. I was on a dozen medications. I was still going to work. They denied my disability. And I would go to work and I'd be sitting there fantasizing about how can I escape? How can I get out of here? I had my house for 20 years, my job for 13 years. I was a good citizen, did all the right things, paid, taxes, all that. But I was dying. I was laying in bed when I wasn't at work with my body, mind, spirit complex slowly dying. And I had gotten some Tony Robbins CDs at a yard sale a few years prior, and I'd listened to them to and from work and started planting seeds. And then I started listening to others on YouTube, and seriously, just it snowballed into this desire to learn to change my life. And one story I like to tell, because this happened. You have that inner voice in you that will tell you things. It's kind of like your guide or your intuition or whatever you want to call it. And whenever I would think about escaping the matrix, it would say, only you can save your life. And I would dismiss it thinking, oh my gosh, either I'm losing my mind or that's my imagination, whatever. But one day, it was getting along the time of the big event in 2020. And I was at work and they were talking about going on furlough. And the voice screamed in my head so loud. I was checking in a patient and it said, only you can save your life. Like so loud. And it wasn't like my voice. It was some other voice. I mean, I know now it's my voice, but it startled me so bad that I kind of looked around for a split second. Did anybody else hear that? But it was after then that it finally hit me that I needed to take action. So short story long, apologies. I went on furlough, went to Cancun for 2 weeks. I stayed 5 months. When I first got here, I couldn't walk upstairs, barely. There were stairs, I'd avoid them. But at the end of the 5 months, I walked up 4 flights of stairs just to see the view. I also did a Tony Robbins seminar, Unleash the Power Within, or UPW as it's called sometimes. That's when it happened. And I got on the plane, flew home, sold my house, my truck, beautiful washer and dryer, bought a motorhome, packed it up with the things I would need and my 4 cats, and drove here through Washington, Oregon, California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas, and all the way through Mexico. 4 months, 5,000 miles or 8,000 kilometers to my metric friends, and landed up here, bought a home 60 yards from a beautiful white sands beach and restaurants, opened up an Airbnb, and here I am. So the reason why I wanted to go in depth in that is just to show you that change is possible. I've done it, and now I can help others do it. So they can help silence that inner critic that says, oh, you can't do it because you're not good enough, which I dealt with for years. And so I'm just happy to be able to help people.
Well, I had goosebumps listening to you, Sarah. It's like, wow, that's amazing. That's beyond amazing. And then for you to drive all the way from Oregon to Cancun, was that all by yourself
Yes.
and your cats?
And my cats. Yeah.
And you were then a cancer survivor, and you were saying that when you first got to Cancun during your holiday, you can barely walk.
Oh yeah, it was even when I first got here, when I moved here, but let's go back to my birthday. I turned 50 in the November of 20. And so I made friends here in that short period of time, and they were walking me to the beach about 2 weeks into my visit.
Mm-mm.
And it's from their house 150 yards. And I had to sit 4 times just to catch my breath and to, get my body out of pain.
Mm-mm.
And just yesterday, I walked 2 miles just for a stroll. So, I mean, it's tremendous, the difference.
Well, that's the things that you say, change can happen if you decide to change it.
I mean, if I did it, I know anybody can do it. That's what I know.
Oh, that's phenomenal. I'm really amazed with what you are doing, Sarah. And then look at you. That's such a beautiful woman you are today. And then you're glowing, you're spreading the love and spreading all this beautiful work that you're helping with other women out there. Thank you so much. So with your healing journey, you drove from Oregon to Cancun. So that's like you took 4 months to get to there.
Yes, because my body hadn't healed yet, and I could only drive so many miles a day. And I also spent time on my way out of the US visiting family and friends, and meeting new friends, seeing old friends. I spent about 3 weeks with my dad, a week with my sister, but I really could only drive about 200 to 250 miles a day before my body would scream at me.
So how was that experience like during that journey from where you were to Cancun?
Very liberating. Very liberating. And I had many people that were naysayers in my life. Don't do it. Don't do it. They thought bad things would happen to me. And I just went. And I did not encounter one negative. I jokingly say I came across one little snooty youngin', right? But that's anywhere. But everybody's been so nice, so friendly, so welcoming. And it's not at all what they say.
So that require a lot of courage for you to do something like that, I would say.
Yes, courage. It's more like conviction. Things were happening in 2020 that I couldn't allow myself to be forced into for my health reasons. And so really, that was my fight or flight mechanism kicking in, and I flew. I'm like, I'm out of here. So I was driven with a bigger purpose.
Well, that's such a like a big journey for you, and you are showing people out there, all the women out there, it's doable if you just take the step. And then even though there are challenges along the way, and there are, like you say, naysayer, but you did it, and look at where you are now.
Yeah, I'm doing things that I never would have imagined. I thank you for being at my live on my YouTube channel before this interview. I really warmed my heart. I was just sitting out on my terrace doing a YouTube live with the Caribbean Ocean behind me and a beautiful sunset in front of me. And there are moments like that I'm like, I take just a step outside of myself to look and see, like, who is this person? And then, 5 minutes before, one of the healing things that's happened is my mind. When you're on a dozen medications, you've been through chemo, and, you've been eating like the standard American diet, the SAD diet, your brain really is, mine was fried. And so just before I went on live, I remembered something. And I'm like, you go, girl. Like, whereas before I would have been thinking and thinking and thinking. So anyway, just a healing journey. I'm so lucky, fortunate, and blessed to be here and doing what I'm doing. And I know I've said this, and the reason why I talk about it so much is because if I can do it, others can do it. That's why I just,
Yes, that's
I know.
true. Yeah, you just show everyone out there that's possible. So maybe is that possible for you to maybe give us some highlights of the significant challenges that you face along the way, and how did you overcome those hurdles?
Along this particular journey or everywhere?
Like
Pardon?
everywhere from, like, for instance, to get from Oregon, where you were a cancer survivor, and to where you are now in Cancun, living your best life, living the life that you say you have never like thought you're going to have.
Yeah, if you would have told me this 3 years ago, I would have laughed at you. Like, what are you smoking? But no, some obstacles have been like a language barrier, but I use Google Translate, and I've met some extraordinarily wonderful people here. And I am still learning the language. You know, mi español es un poco y muy malo, but I try every day to improve. I can talk like a 3-year-old in Spanish. I'm at 3-year-old level. The heat has been a challenge. It'll say that it's 95 degrees, which sounds great, and typically it is, but the feels like temperature, or I think they call that the heat index, will be 117 degrees.
Well,
113 and 115, and it's too hot for me, so I have to move before next summer. Right now it's been great. Some other challenges. I did fall off my health regime for about 5 or 6 months, and I plateaued. Apparently I have a knack for chips and salsa. I love chips and salsa. And but I just, last month I said no more, and I'm down 12 pounds again, so I'm good. But some of the challenges, the real ones, you know, like I live alone, I have my cats, but you know, I'm fortunate that I get to meet people around the globe that come to my house in my Airbnb. I've just met some amazing people. But otherwise, like last night, I completed a website for this 3-day challenge I'm doing, and I wanted to show somebody, you know. So, you know, I mean, there's, you know, give and take in every situation, you know. I know that in the future I'll have somebody to show, but right now I'm just busy making it happen.
Yeah, you definitely find a way, and you did find a way from Oregon to Cancun already. Definitely others are more challenges for you, because you did overcome a big one.
Yeah, I've had some things in my life that have literally dropped me to my knees, and so now if I get a bad haircut or a flat tire, it's like, it's all perspective, I think.
Yes, definitely, it's perspective, and see how what Tony Robbins was saying, depends on what's the meaning you give to the events, right?
Exactly. And that's I'm glad you said that, because I think so. In my 20s, I became my mom's caregiver. She was disabled with head trauma. In my 30s, I married a narcissist. I didn't know it at the time. In my 40s, I had the breast cancer. Why I say that, there's a million other little situations, but those are the toppers. I think I was given these challenges to learn how to overcome them so I could help other people. That's the story. You know what I mean? Instead of being a victim, oh, this happened to me. It's more, I get this opportunity to learn and grow, and now I can share with others the tools that I discovered to help me move through, move past, and start thriving again.
Yeah, that's such beautiful, and definitely the things, the story meant to happening for you and for a bigger version of you and bigger mission that you are going on. And I love that. I can't wait for your challenge that's coming up really soon. We're going to talk about the challenge a little bit later. Having to start an Airbnb in Cancun is something that is very bold and exciting move for you. So how have that experience actually helped you to understanding having your own business and entrepreneurship and helping you with your personal resilience?
When I first moved here, I knew that I needed income and what was the best way to do it. And when I first came here on vacation for that 2 weeks, I had stayed at a family's house. I didn't even know what a homestay was, but I stayed there for 2 weeks and ended up staying 5 months, and I adopted that family. Beautiful family. And in fact, this house is 100 feet from their house. So I was seriously just in love with this family. There's a mom, 2 kids, and a grandson, and they're just beautiful souls. But they had an Airbnb, and I knew that I needed income, and I got this house, and I'm like, well, why not fix up the upstairs? I'll stay downstairs, and I'll have 3 rooms available. And who doesn't want to come to Cancun and be 60 yards from a beautiful beach?
Of course.
And I'm 10-minute walk to the Isla Mujeres ferries. Location couldn't be more ideal, but pretty soon I'll be selling it and moving on to my next adventure. But anyway, it's helped me be able to develop my coaching business. I'm starting a new podcast on my YouTube channel, and it's helped me lay the foundation of my I've also become a speaker in the last year, and it's helped me develop that business, that entrepreneurship side, because of the steady income.
Yeah, that's helping you to step onto the passion that you want and help you to do something that's you are passionate about. And that's the things for you as well, because it's allowed you to connect with people that come to stay at your homestay. That's such a
amazing people too, really, from all over the world. Just
that's a win-win situation for you.
Yeah, I put in there too that guests are just friends we haven't met yet.
Yeah, that's so true, definitely. And you even have your family there just because you're homestaying in someone else's house before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and another thing that you were mentioning as well, you're focusing currently on the holistic transformation for women, specifically over 35 years old. That's very, very inspiring. And I know that the things that you are doing, helping the women out there, is just wonderful. So can you share with us, Sarah, what are some of the strategies or the tools that you are using that help these women, specifically to help them to break free from their limiting beliefs and to embrace their true self?
Well, it started with a private visualization that I would do for myself. I used to have anxiety, like I couldn't get to bed, or I would have a lot of negative thoughts, stray thoughts. I mentioned this just the other day. I would try to enter the front door of my house with the key fob of my truck, and the inner voice would start just beating me up. telling me I was stupid, telling me I wasn't worth anything, and a whole bunch of other verbiage and expletives that I won't use on your channel. But it was verbal assault, really. And I explain it like if somebody else had seen a couple in a grocery store where he was talking to her like I was talking to me, the police would have been called. But I learned to fix that. I learned to silence it quickly, easily, and basically tell it to knock it off, shut up, and and now I'm able to use that tool in several different ways. I have a private, like it's a bespoke visualization. It's guided that I bring people through, and I teach them how the mind works and how to adjust it. Scientific level and a practical level. I explain the science behind it, and this is how you can work with it. So the squirrel cage at night is gone because I'm able to say, we're not going to do that. And it was private, when I think I told you when I was starting to change my life, I had to learn tools. And one of the tools is awareness. And how could you be so stupid, Sarah? With the key fob would come up through the view screen of my mind. My awareness was brought to it, says, no, I don't want to think that anymore, because all of these thoughts are actually programs like in a computer. I won't go into all of it right now, but I can show people that you have the power and the ability to actually shift and change. And so I was able to replace that thought with, oh, there you go, being human again, Sarah. And so I was able to do a 180-degree turn on that. I didn't become immobilized with sadness or shame because I was so dumb. I was able to just go throughout my day and say, hey, what are we doing next? And that's one tool. I also bring a little, how do I say this? I use many modalities, but I think one of the main parts is it's real talk with real people. And I bring a little bit of realism to it, because I think as women, we are raised since birth, past the age of marriage, how to be, how to sit, how to talk, how to react to this stuff. But some of the guidance that we've been given is a little out of focus. And I show women how to just shift their thinking. I have one client right now. I'll give you an example. She's going for a very high level executive position, like reporting to the CEO, and she was in a state of verbally abusing herself and not feeling worth it. And I was able to bring her into a state of calm, peace, focus, happiness, and she is just radiating right now. And the transformation has been absolutely phenomenal. And that is what I want to help women do, is go from that to, hey, here I am. You're lucky to have me.
Well, it sounds to me Sarah is a programmer. It's like you just press the button and reprogram our mind, and so that we have a different set of programs in our mind so that we become a better version than we were before.
You become your best self. Whoever that is, you get to choose. One of the things another client said is that I don't tell you what to do. I give you tools to figure out who and what you want to become. I just provide the roadmap for you to get there. Suggestions, thought replacements, little things like that. And you think and you create and you do you in a way that is your best self, the way that you see fit. And it's a very non-judgmental place, because I've been through so much. I don't judge anybody about anything, right? So very relaxed environment, and I think people appreciate that.
Yeah, that sounds like something that is very, very beneficial for many, many women out there. So you were talking about your 3 days challenge that I believe that's going to be covered in the 3 day challenge as well. Is that right? Do you want to share with us about those 3 day challenge that is coming up soon?
I am so excited about this. And on the entrepreneurial side, I'll talk that first. I am doing things that I never thought I'd do. Like I just created a website and a funnel and graphics and design, and I looked at it and I'm like, that looks really good. And not being egotistical, but more like I did that. Oh, that's fantastic. But then on the real level, I am so excited to be able to bring to people what I've learned. And I say this kind of jokingly, but it's true. After spending thousands of hours and tens of thousands of dollars, I'm bringing to people what I've learned so that they can learn these tools quickly and easily. And this 3-day challenge is silence your inner critic and empower your inner voice.
Mm.
I am showing women and men how you can quickly and easily silence that inner critic every time.
Mm-hmm.
And then just because I started talking to people and opening up and saying, I have this little voice telling me I'm not worth enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not professional enough, I'm not all these things I wasn't yet, XYZ. And what it turns out is that everybody has this voice.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the voice is louder than others, some other voices are louder than others, but I can show how to silence that voice and empower the voice that says, you know what, girl, you got this.
Mm-hmm.
Because you are amazing. And like Tony Robbins says, it's 2 millimeter shifts every day, 2% improvement every day.
Mm-hmm.
Because he says we overestimate what we can do in a year, but underestimate what we can do in 5 or 10.
Yes,
And
true.
that hit me like a lightning bolt. And so every day I get up and I just do something, 2%. But this challenge is going to show people how to turn off the negative voice and get on with your life.
Mm-hmm.
Start living, stop settling, and start thriving and living. I call it living with purpose, passion, and personal freedom.
Well, who is that challenge for?
Anybody.
Anybody?
Anybody that has that voice that's telling them they're not good enough, that they're worthless, or that the voice told me many times, I'm not good enough, I'm not professional, who do you think you are? All of this stuff. Anybody that has that voice, I can help them. I have the free, it's free, totally free, but I also have a VIP package. The VIP package is more one-on-one. It's staying after the event, asking direct questions. I give away my free ebook. I have 2 published ebooks on Amazon. I give away the first one to the VIP package and so much more. I won't bore you with all those details, but I'm going to be doing a challenge every month on a different topic, similar topics, not like silence your inner critic this month and bake ice cream next month. It's all on the same, change your mind, change your life. And it's transformation through food and thought. And that's about my YouTube channel.
So how can people, if they are interested in the challenge, they'll just have to get in touch with you? Or there is a link that probably you can share with us?
I do have a link. I have a sign up form.
Yeah. I'm going to input that in the description later.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah. So where can people find you online?
Well, primarily, I am on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and LinkedIn as at Love grow, live free, all one word. So love, grow, live free. And yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll include that in the video as well, so that anyone who would like to find out more on the challenge that Sarah mentioned and follow Sarah's journey in Cancun, that will be definitely a YouTube channel. You got to follow her because she got lots of great videos on the YouTube channels. So make sure you look her up on all this platform. Thank you so much for your time with us, Sarah. So another thing is that
Thank you so much. Can I just say, really quick, thank you, Vivienne, for including me in this journey of yours with them.
you're
100 successful
welcome.
women. I am humbled and honored and so excited to be here. And I'm so grateful to you. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Your story is definitely worth to be shared with many, many people out there. It's very inspiring and it's motivating for lots of people as well. Like you say, you show people that it's doable, it's possible, and yeah, your stories is really it's going to like inspire many people. But what's next for Sarah?
Well, I'm going to continue with my online webinars and challenges every month. I have spots for 2 new coaching clients, so I'm going to be taking more coaching clients on. Starting my podcast on my YouTube channel. I found a lady from Germany that teaches how to bake, create a starter of sourdough, gluten-free sourdough starter from scratch and bake it. And she ties that in with her coaching business. But I wanted to bring her to the podcast type thing because, again, going back to transformation through food and thought, it's what we put into our body that really impacts our thinking too, decision making and all that. So it's a balance between food and thought. Please cut this part out, but I totally forgot your question.
What's next for Sarah?
I'm going to be stepping up into my podcast on my YouTube channel, more clients, and just helping as many people as I can. I will be moving. My dream right now is to move to Costa Rica and start a homestead off-grid.
Well, that will be another journey for you as well. Is it so if you to move to Costa Rica, is it in your motorhome as well?
I've been thinking about it.
Maybe. How far to drive from?
I have to drive through 3 countries that are kind of in turmoil right now, so
well,
I'm doing a lot of research before that one. I might take a boat. I don't know. I might hire a plane. I don't know.
Well, that will be, stay tuned on YouTube channels of Sarah, because I believe that she's going to share with us her journey of that if she's moving to Costa Rica on her YouTube. I can't wait to hear about it. So before we wrap up the conversation today, Sarah, your journey is definitely about resilience, about empowerment. So what's your one message for other women out there so that they can create a life that they want and living their dreams?
My advice, my idea is, first off, you have to want it. Nobody can make you change but you. So you have to choose, make the decision. That's the foundation. And from there, there's some practical everyday steps. Simple steps, not always easy, but simple to just do, that over time can have profound effects, and you can step into the person that you know that you're meant to be.
Love that. And if you wanted to get more practical strategies, get in touch with Sarah. And then remember, if you are stuck or you are in challenges, what you can remember what Sarah was saying. Only you can save you.
Exactly.
I love that. Thank you so much for your time and wisdom, Sarah. I really appreciate and enjoy our conversation today.
Thank you so much for having me, Vivienne. Big
Thank
hugs to you.
Thank you. And I'll see you guys, see you again next time and probably following your journey on your YouTube as well. Bye for now.